And let the words of our mouth and the meditations of our heart, let it be acceptable in your sight. In Jesus' mighty name we have worshipped. Father, we thank you, gracious Father, for the miracle of sleeping and waking. We thank you for our family. We thank you for our jobs. We thank you for our friends and our well-wishers. We thank you for this gathering this afternoon. Father, we pray that you come and take absolute control, that at the end your name alone will be glorified. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Please put your hands together for yourself while you take your seat. Hallelujah. Yeah, there's going to be a bit of hallelujah. Exactly. You're welcome. Our most indefatigable MD CEO. We are glad to have you today. Thank you so much, Ma, for answering when we hope called. We don't take it for granted, Ma. Thank you so much. Our amiable trailblazers, our pace setters, our frontliners, our senior mancos and ASCOs. Thank you so much for leading exceptionally. We are grateful. And then my beautiful colleagues, thank you very much for being here. I want to remind you today that you are the real MVPs. If you know you are the real MVPs, clap for yourself. You are the real MVPs. We are glad to have you in our midst. And I promise you, just sit tight. Even if you don't have a seat belt, don't worry. You are comprehensively insured. The ride is going to be smooth. Do we have MTN subscribers in the house? Fastest finger. Yeah, before we go into that, my name is Uchechi AB, the event lead. Thank you. Do we have MTN subscribers in the house? Please, let's dial the code. Fastest finger. Presido, Marco is asking, are they allowed to join? No. I'm sorry, ma. Ma, their fingers will be faster than your own. I want to, okay. Okay, let's go. Fastest finger MTN subscribers, 4638-2411, 3331, 87388. Do we have a winner in the house? Who is the winner? Who is the winner? Okay, let's go. 4638. Then someone has used it. Okay. Oh, we have a winner. Please put your hands together for our winner. Don't worry, that's why I say sit tight. There are lots. And then we want to start with something very beautiful this afternoon. One house, please. One house, please. You know, the only thing we know in the banking industry is KYC, right? That is know your customer. Today we want to talk about a bit of KYMDCEO. KYMDCEO. How many of us know our MDCEO? Somebody saying we know him. Okay, let me get my gift and get my jotter. Because if you're able to answer the question correctly, you are going with a gift. Sorry. So we have 2 truths and a lie. Thank you. Yes, the umbrella. So we have 2 truths and a lie. So we are going to say 3 things. And in the midst of that 3, amongst the 3 things we are going to read out, 2 are truths and 1 is a lie. So since you have convinced me that you know my MD CEO, yes? Okay. Ma, please, kindly call them out. Damilola, okay? So Damilola, please. Thank you. So let's go to the first one. This is MD CEO talking now. I prefer comfort shoes to heels. Hold on. So after I'm done with the 3 options, if you know the ones that are truth and the one that is a false, just stand up and then claim your gift. I prefer comfort shoes to heels. I play a musical instrument. And I have a sweet tooth. Yes, 2 truths and a lie. Yes, the 2 truths and then 1 lie. Please, the second mic. Please, the second mic. Okay, you can help me. Buchi?
Sorry, how can I answer?
Your name and?
Okay, my name is Rhoda. So 1 and 3 is true, white 2 is false.
1 and 3.
Is true, white 2 is false.
Okay, so the 1 is, I prefer comfort shoes to heels. And why is everybody shouting yes, yes, yes? And then the 3rd one is, I have a sweet tooth. That's, I like sweet things. And then the 2nd one is, I play a musical instrument. Okay, the last person. Go ahead and try.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Adebisi Fakile. So 1 and 2 is true. It's very obvious that MDCEO prefers comfort shoes.
Okay.
Then she plays an instrument.
Okay. What is?
It's not in the context of the question now.
Okay, because we have a whole lot. From a reliable source. From a reliable source. Our MDCEO do not play a musical instrument, ma. So, but we have a winner. The person that said 1st and 3. Please, put your hands together for her. She knows her MDCEO. You see? So from today, don't just know your customer. Know your bosses. Know your MDCEO. So we have the second one. I am a vegetarian. I love chocolate cakes, and I exercise every morning. Please, can you help me? The mic, please. Dami, please, the mic.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Miriam Arona. So, number 1 is a lie, and the last 2 are true.
Number 1 is a lie.
So, number 1, I am a vegetarian.
Sorry. Thank you. Please go ahead. Okay, sorry. Hold on, please.
Okay. So,
Go ahead.
So number 1 is a lie. The last 2 are true. Number 2 and 3.
Okay, can you, even our MD wants to know which one. So which one do you think is a lie?
The vegetarian.
From a reliable source, my MDCEO is not a vegetarian. Please give her her gift. Thank you. So before we go to another fastest finger, I want to tell us something. Having listened to the journey of our amiable MDCEO during Bloom 2.0, I did. And then some great women like Ibuku and Woshika, I have come to understand that any woman can achieve whatever they want to if they are intentional about it. Why won't I be intentional? If God himself was intentional about a woman, I was having an argument with someone, and I said, God is more intentional about a woman than a man. And he said, why do you think so? I say, I have breast. Breast is a sign that I am a feeding system. I am a nurturer. I have a womb. A womb is a sign that I am designed to multiply. I am a multiplier. I'm a feeding system. So next time, before you ask ChatGPT, what does women bring to the table? Know that you are the table. You are the whole table. You are the whole table. So I want you to talk to a friend, talk to someone beside you, say, you are more than a woman. You are more than just a woman. Put your hands together for yourself.
Thank you very much, Uchechi, for setting the tone. We needed everybody to be relaxed. And now is the time that we have all been waiting for. It's time for YO Unfiltered. So when having these conversations with my colleagues, I always say that it's a great time to be a woman in Union Bank. And why do I say so? We have an MD that is deliberate and intentional about creating an environment where every UBN woman is confident, is seen, and is heard. Not only that, we have the platform to achieve whatever it is that we want to achieve, because she's very vocal about it, and she personally champions those initiatives that ensure that we are comfortable. So everybody has no choice but to fall into place. You go to meetings and you hear senior male leaders saying, please let the women talk. I don't want YO's problem, because she's vocal about it. So before we start hearing from the horse's mouth, okay, sorry for me. Before we hear from the chief stallion, we want her to ease out a bit. So she would do a little dance. Yes. She'll do a little dance, and Manko can join her so that she's just comfortable and.
It seems the only way. Tell me what you want and I will give it to you. 'Cause you are my love. Do you ever dream of a day cold and rain? Oh, darling, my candy red. My love, did you ever dream that we could be so right? I never told you all that I need in life, all I want, all I need to me. After all that we've been through, it's just so sad to see me in love with you. I gave you all of me. Doesn't mean enough for you since I love you. Now I'm trying to get over you. You like listen to me at all. You pick up the phone and call. You don't know me. Don't make you used to. Let me go when whatever you give it no. I get used to. Come on. Come on. Remember, you stepped up on the scene, you running.
Thank you so much, YO. I couldn't resist the urge. I've heard so much about your steps. So I had to see it myself. Good evening, ma. You look very beautiful today, as usual. So we'll dive right into it. You know, we can only imagine the weight of the responsibilities of being the MD CEO of Union Bank. Yet you carry it with so much grace. And you almost make it look like it's easy. So we are curious. I heard, is that we want to hear? So have you always had it figured out? Or were there times that you second guessed? And if so, what gave you the confidence, or what were those things that made you take that leap and carry the leap of determining the tone of the bank, the safety of the people, psychological safety, and the future of the bank? What are those things that made you believe that you could do this and carry it so easily?
Okay, first, let me just, so good afternoon or good evening, everyone, again. I have to first start by saying thank you for this opportunity. Thank you to We All. Thank you to the immediate past president, who is today is her birthday. Shout out to happy birthday to her. Shout out happy birthday. I need to start from there because I know that when I got this appointment, she was the president of WeHop. And constantly she engaged me about what she wanted to do, her vision, the programs and all that. And so she always gave me feedback that guided most of the decisions that I had to take in the early days about the women. Hello? Okay. That guided me in taking decisions as well. So thank you to Gloria. And then, of course, she handed over. Please, first clap for Gloria. And then she handed over to Chioma, our able president too. Very able, very persistent. She's been on my back from the time she took on that I must have this session. And she has a lot of ideas and her vision is very clear on how to bring up every woman in Union Bank to where we should be and to support. And she's listening. And she has a team of people. I know that you're all here, the team, the new team, working with her to ensure that we all continue to find our voice and our space in the bank. So well done, Chioma, and thank you for this opportunity. I also did not want this to be a Lagos affair. We're not a Lagos bank. We are a national bank. I'm mindful that 47% of our population, HR, CTU, correct me, 47% are women of the total workforce. And so when we have a fraction of us in this stallion house, and I know that not everybody, there are branches, so it's unfortunately, it's always only the head office people I get to talk to directly. But whenever I go to the other branches, I try to have kind of like a small session with them. So I know, I'm not sure if this is it online? No, is this? Oh, it is. Okay, so a shout out to those online. You're warmly welcome. Please clap for them. So, having said all that, I think I can now answer your question. So, do you do everything confidently? I will ask you, because I'm a normal human being like all of you. I'm not different. So, do you do everything in life totally confident? So, I'm just like you. You do it afraid, I say. You do it afraid because you just realize that you can never know everything. It's impossible to know everything. But you also have support of everybody around you. Not necessarily everybody every time, but most times, most people, you have their support. And you can now decide what your vision is. But of course, you have to be prepared. If you're not prepared and a role falls on your laps, then you're in serious trouble. But when you're prepared to an extent, then you have this confidence. And as I always say, I'm a woman that has been favored and blessed by God. And that's why I'm here. It's not because of how much I know. Because many more people know much more than I do. And much more people know more than you do at any point in time. But because that you're selected, you're favored, it's your opportunity. You need to just take it and run with it. And so taking up this role and doing the things or talking about women, because I've always had a passion for not only women, but women and men. I always believe that you should have an impact on whoever you meet. And I want to treat others the way I want to be treated. And so that always is my guiding force. And I'm thinking, okay, you got this role. So what are the first few steps you want to take? So it's always been my passion that women, about working hours, that has always been in my head, that 3 months is definitely not enough. And so when I had the great opportunity, and I didn't have a board, I thought, immediately I'm going to do this. This is one thing I'm going to do, immediately, because I have the opportunity to do it. But of course, I had the full support of the board when they came in, and we implemented it. And we've continuously thought about women and men. I always say women and men because I don't want you to think because she's a woman leader, her focus is only on women. It's not only on women. Women and men have to be treated equally. But it's just that happens that a lot of times, or historically, women have not always had that seat on the table. And so it's how to encourage us to make sure that we're on that table. And it's also by telling the people in the team, You need to create an environment for women, because I've also been there. I didn't just wake up and become an MD. I was a copper. I was an officer. I was a manager. I rose through the ranks. And I know how it feels to be in your shoes. I know how it feels when you're not heard. I know how it feels when you have a lot of things to say, but you can't say it because the bosses are nasty, or people are just toxic, or they just suppress you, man or woman. Not, it doesn't necessarily have to be woman or woman. And so it was very important for me to create that environment. And you can only walk your talk. How is your own environment? And I'm saying that to all you women in this room. How is your environment? What is the temperature? Is it very high? Is it very cold? Is it nasty? Do you encourage your team to talk? And this is an unfiltered interview. There are some questions that you sent to me. Unfortunately, I didn't even have the luxury of looking through them and just thinking through. So whatever I'm going to be saying to you, I'm just saying it from my heart. And you may take it. You don't have to take everything, because we're all different. We're diverse, but we're unique. And that diversity is also what puts us together. Your people, as a leader, are your greatest assets. As anybody, without people, you're nothing. So people. What do we want in the organization? So it was to bring stability. But you can only bring stability when there's harmony, when teams collaborate, when we're able to challenge each other sincerely, not innocently, sincerely, and appreciate feedback. You can't come into an environment and just start to change things. You have to first hear, you have to listen, and you have to know that everybody has a voice. You may not be able to listen to all the voices at the same time, but the objective is always very clear. It's for the enterprise, I would say. Whatever I do is for the enterprise. It's for the good of the enterprise. It's not out of selfish desires, and that is what I preach, and that's what I strongly believe, and I know that it would continue to help us. When we say we are Team Union, it's very powerful, very powerful. And if we are not together, it's impossible to move forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Wayo. We've all felt the impact of how you think things through and consider both the enterprise and the feeling of the people. It's obvious in your actions that you actually listened and executed, everything that was to everybody's benefit. So thank you. And when you were speaking, you spoke about, being a copper, growing through the ranks and all of that. Has your perception of success changed? Were there things that you thought was measurement of success or achievement, but today in hindsight, maybe it wasn't even so important? So the things that give you sense of purpose, sense of fulfillment, for some of us in the room, if we ever get to executive level, we have arrived. So is it really like that at the top, or is the feeling different for you?
Lonely at the top, lonely, money on my mind. So, success is, I think it's personal to everyone. What you think is successful for you is not successful for me. It's not success for me, rather. So what do I think of success? To me, it's first family. The success of my children is my success, of my husband, of my family. That's it's always been important to me. Always, and it hasn't changed. It's not how much money you have in the bank, because the money can never satisfy you. If you have the money and your family is in disarray, you are not successful. And I say that very, very categorically. And so it's important that women as nurturers, you think of your family. And it's not that I'm saying that some people may are divorced, not because they want to, but circumstances sometimes beyond your control result in you having to separate. But I'm sure that they still believe in family. What gives you success or makes you feel successful is not necessarily the tangible things. Unfortunately, they're the intangible things. It's the joy of seeing your child graduate. It's the joy of your husband giving you a gift. It's the joy of your mother being alive. It's the joy of your father doing something. Those are the things that really are a true measure of success, not your material things. I don't think so. And in my life, that is how I've always measured my success. And I'll say that there's seasons to success. So what you want, maybe as a copper, as a copper, I want to become a manager. You become a manager, you think, I want to become an AGM. You become an AGM. So really and truly, you have to enjoy your journey. I believe very strongly in enjoying my journey. And that's my own success. I enjoy whatever season I am in. I'm happy to be an empty nester now. The children are away. I'm happy. It's okay. It's okay. You know, they will always come back. And you that have children, enjoy those children. As you're growing up in your ladder, enjoy your journey. You cannot rewind your journey. It's impossible. So look for the things that would make you happy as you go along in your journey in life. Today, it may be X, tomorrow it will be Y. But you have to identify those things and enjoy your. Don't say I'm going to be happy or successful or think, I've arrived when only today is guaranteed. Unfortunately, some people have died much younger. And we don't know what tomorrow holds. So please enjoy your journey. Enjoy your journey. And that's why I always say that when you're in the office, you spend so much time in the office. Don't be sad. Don't let somebody make you sad. Don't put your happiness in the hand of one boss and say, because he did this or she did this, and then you are not happy. Life is too short. Enjoy your journey.
Thank you, Wayo. Speaking of enjoying, we also realize that burnout is real. Yeah, so there are times that you are trying to get by each day, you're overwhelmed. I think that happens to all of us. So for you, Wayo, when do you know that it's time to pause? Like when it gets almost unbearable, what do you do to just reset? Because fine, we need to do our work and, show up. We need to pay attention to our families, but sometimes we just can't. So what do you do at that point? How do you reset? How do you rejuvenate?
Many things you can do. Have boundaries. Your body tells you when you're tired. Sometimes my eye tweaks, actually. So you have to study your body and know what your body is saying. And when that happens, what do? So many times, I have meetings sometimes late in the evening. Last year, I know that I was having meetings sometimes till about 12 midnight. Some strange meetings we had to have in the industry, not necessarily for Union Bank, but Union Bank was part of it, like a syndicate, and we used to have late meetings as CEOs. And so you can imagine being on the phone sometimes to 12 sometimes. Then coming to the office at 8, it's not going to work. I can't do it. It's not possible. I know my body. And so in the mornings, I just take it easy because I know that I've worked quite late. And so I switch off in the morning. I'm not going to check my emails early in the morning, right? Because I know that I am tired. Even when you sleep, you wake up tired sometimes. And so you have to pace yourself. Yes, I'm a CEO and I don't have to come in early, right? I'm saying to myself, not because I don't want to come in early and don't respect the rules of the organization, but because nobody told me I'm supposed to close at 5. I'm not closing at 5 because I have responsibilities. But if I'm a teller and I have to come in at 8 o'clock in the morning or before 8, 7 o'clock, then the day before, depending on what I do, I need to be able to pace myself and know that during Monday to Friday, I need to show up in the office. And I don't want to exhaust myself. I don't want to burn out. So you have to have your own boundaries. If you're having an office function or whatever, an external function, I'm not going to go there and stay till 1 a.m., for example, because I know I have to show up at work and I have to show up well. So it's knowing yourself. I would say it's knowing yourself. And what I've done in those things, so boundaries. So sometimes weekends I don't go anywhere. And I mean I don't go anywhere. I'm in my house because I'm tired. Some of you try to please too many people. No is an answer. No is an answer. It's a complete statement. No. And when I say no, I mean no. I'm not going. But we try to please too many people. Even with your family, you have to carve out that time to say, this is my family time, and protect it. I remember over the weekend, the director called me and said something about, we'll meet on Sunday. I said, no, I'm not meeting on Sunday. I'll meet you on Monday. Nothing is going to change between Sunday and Monday. So I'll meet you on Monday. Because I wanted to unwind on Sunday, and that is my own family time. Right? So you have to know what works for you. But your body, you have to rest. They said 7 hours. I was even reading something as I was coming downstairs. Something about, someone said that the habits that we do every day, or the things we do every day is that you don't wake up suddenly unhealthy. They are the small habits or decisions that you make every day that become habits and that make you unwell. So what are those decisions you are taking every day? We talk about exercises. Exercises actually helps you to relax. It helps you to distress. A lot of us say we don't have the time. There is time for anything that you are intentional about. You have to create that time. If it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, keep moving. They say the body has to keep moving. You say you're tired, but no. I'm saying that if you don't exercise, you'll get more tired. So you have to be building a healthy diet, a healthy routine into your daily work so you don't burn out. And then don't take too much things in your head. I think we women, we think that we know everything. You want to do everything. You want to be a superwoman. You can't be a supermom. You can't be a mother, a leader, a housewife, a wife. And then you don't want any help. You just think you can't do it alone. It's impossible. There's some things I don't even think about. That's me. You know how they say you zero it out of your mind? Because I've learned over time that is not my specialty. Let my money go on errand. You do it. Right? Even when I was not when I was a CEO, because a lot of people always think that it's when you're a CEO. No. Even as an officer in a bank, I'm sure I've said this story before about how my husband said, get a cook, to some of you here. Use your money to buy your comfort. Don't get home. I never used to, when I was an officer, in fact, I think when I just started my career, I won't get home and start looking for how to iron the clothes for the child for tomorrow. It's not an important task for me. I'll outsource it. Then I'll sit down with that child and I'm talking with my children. So you have to know what your boundaries are. Because those are all the things that tire you out. And then also, I get a lot of pleasure from writing things down. And I got that some years back, many years back. Because that helps me. So not just writing down a to-do list, but also saying afternoon, morning, evening. Like this weekend now, I already know the people I have to call. I have to build in my network. Because all those things, you think they don't wear you out. They tire you out when you don't do some things that you just, I haven't done this. What is stress is you just overthinking too many things. You think you have too many things to do and you don't have the time to do it. That's what causes stress. So time management is important. How are you managing your time? What is important? What's a priority to you? Because all those things reduce your stress level. And then when your stress level is reduced, then of course you're a better you. Then you show up in a better manner. Because we women, we're processing so much. Our brain engine is very hot. It's just constantly thinking of one thing or the other. And men always know that because we can multitask. And then because we know we can multitask, we put up everything. We're the one remembering somebody's this, that one this. Everything is in your head. Use your phone a little bit more. I found that helps me also. So you just go to the notes. So I have a table. I can have something. I can have one child. I have some of my children on one list. When I just remember what I want to tell them, I just put it there. So by the time I'm talking to you, I just go. I say, hey, I do that a lot for the CTO when she comes to my office. I'll say, hey, Oma Yuli, I've written your name down somewhere. Oma Yuli, I've written it somewhere. And I can find in 10 different places. I'll say, okay, yeah, I have it. Because the stress comes from the head. And that's what I realized. Union Bank is a totally different space. It's new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness, O Lord God. So from one thing to the other, when you just think that, okay, you've sorted then something else comes up. So you can imagine if you are in that firefighting mode every time. The stress level is going to kill me. And I don't want to die. I have my children. I want to enjoy my children's children in good and perfect health. Thank you, amen. So you have to manage yourself to be able to manage the stress level and to know when you're burning out. Your body tells you, honestly. Your body really tells you.
Thank you, Vayu. I heard boundaries a couple of times. So, in other words, just prioritize yourself and your mental health. That's what I heard. So, Vayu, I want to talk a bit about, you always say to us, I've heard you say it several times, to speak up. So you say when you're in a meeting, speak up. When you have something to say it. But again, I know, and a couple of my colleagues will agree that despite that, several women still find it very difficult to speak up for themselves or to advocate for themselves. Yes, you're doing everything to create that environment. You're doing everything to create the platforms. But if the human being doesn't take that step to be seen, if you're not saying anything, how will you be heard? So for those of us that still struggle with advocating for ourselves, are there practical tips that you can give? Things that they can start practicing gradually, and then maybe over time they'll be able to overcome whether that fear or hesitation or whatever might be responsible for holding them back.
Okay, good question, Chioma. I'll say do it afraid. I think I'd said it earlier. Do it afraid. Before you go for a meeting, be prepared. Don't do analysis paralysis. What do I call analysis paralysis? When you overanalyze something before you say it. And while you are still analyzing and processing, the men have said it. They've said it, and then you think, chai, I wanted to say that. But it is tough, honestly, and I really, really agree with you. It is tough to speak up, because I didn't just wake up also just speaking up. I also was in your space where I would be processing things, and people around me have said it, and I'm looking at myself that, I should have said it. I'll say it the next meeting. The next meeting may not come. And so what do I say? Jot down one or two things that you think that you want to contribute during a meeting. And even when you feel very strongly about that thing and it doesn't come up in the meeting, use one of the answers to take you into that thing. That's what I used to do. I will use one of my, because I've already scripted this answer. It must be, I must say it. Do you understand? So I will look for how to put it inside a question, an answer, a response. When there's any comments, I will use it. So it may not be long. Don't overthink it. Make it as simple as it is. Make it practical. Make it useful. But think before you go into that meeting. Reflect. And that has really helped me, just reflecting over the meeting. So for most of the meetings, I read the pack and I already jotted down exactly what the areas I want to talk on. But I know what it means because you have your seniors in your room. But I think we seniors also have to create that environment by encouraging others to talk. Even some men too do not talk. So it's not all men that also talk. You have some that talk more than others. So me, women and men, there's an opportunity for you to speak. But you just have to start with one word, with two words, with a sentence, or even a comment, or even, oh, you did well. You'll be surprised. You now think, I spoke at that meeting. Reflect on it and think, okay, so that next meeting I can say something. Because you all have a voice. You all have a voice, and it's important to be heard. Some will say, I'm an introvert. I don't talk. You don't talk, okay? So when something happens and it's going totally the opposite direction, you will sit down there and say, don't talk. They make a decision, you don't talk. Then when the impact comes, will you talk at that point? It's a bit too late. So please, it doesn't come easy. I know it's uncomfortable. Let me put it that way. Because you think, they will criticize what I said. Does it sound right? Am I using the right? Does it? You know, you just keep analyzing because I've done it before. I still do it sometimes, actually. When I go outside and I'm an external meeting, I'm thinking, I don't really want to say anything. There's nothing to say. But you want to say something because what's the point? There's a boss of mine that used to say, so why did I invite you to the meeting? Why are you at this table when you're not contributing? You can't tell me that you cannot contribute to any discussion. It's impossible. So write it down, please. Think about the meeting. Let it be a suggestion. Let everyone say, no, why did you talk? But nobody will ever say that to you. Have you realized that? That they've never said no, somebody should shut up for what they've said. Nobody has been told to shut up. Even if it's rubbish you're hearing, the person will be saying it and everybody will just be. By the next time, you get more get more confident. So the confidence comes, it's just like speaking in public. A lot of us say that we cannot speak in public. I used to say that, I said I don't like speaking in public. But guess what? The role, your different responsibility, push you. By the time you start speaking, you speak to your family now. So go in front of a mirror. That also helps. Before a presentation, I remember in my younger days, I'll hold the presentation, I'll be speaking to the mirror, just using my hand, this is what I want, And with time, the confidence grew. And so I was able to speak more. And then, of course, there are a lot of things online that you can use to learn how to speak or articulate yourself, your presentation skills, your public speaking. All that helps. But please, the first thing is to do it afraid. Acknowledge that you're afraid, but still do it. Nobody will beat you up. Nobody will kill you. Nobody would mark you down. By the time you do it the first time, and then take on small projects also. Small, maybe you're in a smaller team. By the time you start to talk in smaller teams, when you get to a bigger team, then you'll get a bit more comfortable. And then you can speak. But nothing is rubbish. Even if you say rubbish, it's okay. Nobody will tell you shut up. So it's okay. By the time you do it the first time, the second time, third time, you'll be fine. And then practice it. Practice makes it perfect. So continue to speak. And then you'll be surprised. Your boss says, okay, she's the one that would represent. And even put up your hand when they're looking for somebody to speak in a small gathering. Maybe you want to start with a small gathering. Say, I can do it. You're doing it afraid. You go home, practice. You'll be ready. You do it. And please encourage, when people talk for the first time in your little teams, please encourage them to speak more. Give them more assignments. And you to seek feedback. Oh, how did I do in that? But don't think that it's only the feedback that will make you grow. You need to just believe in yourself and continue to build on your confidence level over time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So do it afraid, practice makes perfect. I'll still stay on the women bits, like women being visible. So we know from things that you've said to us over time that it's something that you've done across organizations, trying to build women, deliberately support them. It's also something you've done in church, or rather you do in church. So within this banking sector, across organizations, outside banking, is something you do repeatedly. So you've seen it done in different ways. So back to us in Union Bank, are there things, because we're on a journey, are there things that you think we should start doing in addition to the ones we're already doing to ensure that, women have access to growth and women have access to achieving their goals? Are there also things that you've noticed that we do that we should stop doing? So it can be two ways. Are there things that you can say to us, oh, you've done this, you can as well do this, or I see this happen a lot and I think we should stop doing it to ensure that there's psychological safety for women?
Okay. Interesting question. What have I seen? I've seen a lot of things, and I've not seen a lot of things either, because you are all in your different units, so I don't see how you operate it. So you can come to my office and be all smiling and be the best person. Oh, she's such a lovely woman, and be a witch in your units. I wouldn't know. That's the truth. I really wouldn't know. It's a feedback from your team. So I think we don't give ourselves enough feedback, sincere, candid feedback that will help us grow. I don't think we do that enough. Because sometimes we see things not going in the right way with an individual or a group of people, but we don't feel comfortable enough to say it in a sincere way. Rather, we gossip about it. And we're not helping the person. And so I think it's very important that we're sincere. But I also understand the fact that some people can't take feedback. You give them feedback and then you've lost them. They just think you hate them, you have this, So it's a bit tough, I know. But I think that, especially the leaders in the room, it's important that you listen more to your people. When you don't hear things, it's not because they don't feel in a particular way. It's because you've lost access. They've shut up. They don't believe you can do anything about it. And so they don't say. We say, see something, say something, do something. How many people have seen something and said something about it? Very few. The whistleblowing is there, but we don't do enough of it. Okay, so I say I cannot even tell Gloria that she's not nice to me. But you have avenues. You have to speak up. You have the whistleblowing. I know some people have said they don't really trust that system. And I think that we've tried to put controls around it to ensure that when you speak up, right, it's not public and people do not know who it is. And that's the whole essence of speaking up. But more importantly, I think that it's important that we create, it's only leaders that can create that environment. But also the other colleagues can also speak up and say sincerely. But leader has to be in that posture to accept what the person, are not victimized. Because a lot of people feel that when they speak the truth, they'll be victimized. And so they don't speak. I've had a number of speak-ups directly to me. And I mean directly to me. So yes, I can see the person's email, but I will never come into a meeting and say, X said this. Because I value the information they've given to me. Because it's always spot on. And it's always in the interest of the organization. So I value it. So I think we need to do more of that. I think also in our little, we don't have to wait for a gathering like this to have discussions within ourselves. I remember then I was my previous life, in my little units then, I'll just say, let's just talk about basic things. And we just talk. We call it our leaning in our team or whatever. Don't have to even give it a name. We women just like to talk to each other. So we just talk. But you have to create that environment where they feel safe. If I don't feel safe, I cannot be telling you my personal problems. I cannot ask you, how will I get better at work? I cannot tell you I have a challenge in my work. I cannot build confidence in you. I cannot become knowledgeable because, yes, I want to learn what Chioma is doing, but I want to shadow Chioma, but I need an opportunity. I need you to tell me, but you're not helping me. So it starts from me, myself, and I. How do I show up at work? And I think we women need to show up in a more positive light. And also, I'm not trying to say that we're all negative. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying we could be more positive. We could be at that table and they would know that a woman was on that table. This is We Hub, so I'm going to be narrowing it down more on women. But the same applies to a man. How you treat your team would be a test of the kind of feedback that you get. So, in summary, I would say we need to create that environment. Each and every one of us. It's not by me saying it that the environment will be created. It's by us really doing things differently. Little things. I was very happy when somebody said about their team, that they take them out. She has been taking them out regularly. And I'm like, fantastic. That's bonding. Maybe your team just wants to sit down on a Friday and just be, may not necessarily have to go out. It doesn't have to be money related. But, or you even have a listening here. You don't even know maybe somebody in your team is not feeling well, or her child is not feeling well, or her husband is not feeling well because you're not sensitive. But we women have this intuitive thing. My husband says you are all witches. Well, we have different. That's what they always say, you're just a witch. But the truth is that we have this intuitive thing in us. And so you can sense, if a woman comes to the office and you will know, and I'm not saying go around squeezing your face or no, but you will just know, and you can call the person, so what's happening? My child is not, you want to go home, half day? It's within your powers. You don't need an MD to approve that for you. So working from home is not telling somebody go home and go and work because you understand the person's need. It's also part of, when the person feels that, my boss even called me, and she told me to go home, or he told me to go home, that endears the person to you. And so when the person has a problem or there's something on the job, at work, they will tell you. That's what I've always seen in my own life, in my own working experience. That's how my bosses were to me. And that's why I hope to be to people. Sometimes it's tough. Of course, the leader has 1,000,001 things he or she's trying to do. But we need to create that environment. So my challenge is to all of you is to create that environment. And I said leaders more importantly, but I dare say that every one of us can create that environment. How you talk to your colleagues matters. What you say about your colleague matters. How you help on the job matters. And when your person gives you a memo, it's not hatred. It's part of the work. So getting a query from someone doesn't mean that the boss hates you. Because I've seen it here a lot of times. When something is going wrong, no, I'll just talk. I beg, give the person a memo. It will shape on your character. You'll be grateful for that memo someday. So let us try and create an environment where we appreciate each other, but we also give tough love. I call it tough love a lot of times. Tough love is telling the person the truth. If I have to give you a memo, I can give you a memo this very minute. The next minute I'm talking to you because it's the work. We're in a work environment. We want the enterprise to succeed. We are not perfect, but we are willing to learn from each other. And we're willing to listen to each other. And more importantly, we're able to spend time in a happy environment. You spend from 8 o'clock to 9 hours. I don't want to be sad. Anybody that will make me sad, I don't want to see the person that day. I beg. Put the person, there's some people that will drain my energy. I'm like, I beg. I don't want to see that person. Let me look for people that will magnify my happiness and would say positive things. So, but it's all in our hands. Individually, we can determine how we want our environments to be.
Thank you very much, Wanda. Thank you. Dami has been threatening me from there. I have to tell everybody, because we promised her that we're not going to keep it for too long. And she has been telling me 5 o'clock. But I believe everybody's also getting carried away like I'm getting carried away. But before we let you go, I just have to ask this question, because so many people said I should ask you about your signature hairstyle. It's as beautiful as it is iconic. Is there an inspiration behind it? Plenty of people said I should ask you. I have to.
I don't know why they want to know about that. I can't afford your weave. I can't afford it. I can't. So I've been doing this since I was in secondary school. And I find it very convenient. It's just, I love my convenience. I don't have to go to the salon every day. When I wake up, I don't have to start moving it like this. I just take it to the back. So it's simple, it's easy for me. Yes, it's just soft life. It's just lovely. So and they've told me that it fits me. So since it fits me, don't change a winning formula. So even my hairdresser will say, can we put some? I said, I beg. Can we do? I said, no. Just let everything just end at the back. So you have to look at, it's part of convenience, my stress level. So I don't have to wake up in the morning and spend 20 hours trying to move it. I know wigs are also good, but it's just too hot. I put this on my head. I recall a time when I was in Standard Chartered Bank where I had a wig on. I went to work with a wig. You won't believe, in the middle of a discussion, I actually took off that wig. I didn't believe I did it, but I did. I was with some men, my guys in my team, and we're talking, and it was really hot. I just said, excuse me. I just took it. They looked at me, I smiled. And we continued our conversation. So it's not something, I'm not just comfortable with it. So that's why I have my hair like this.
Thank you very much. See? So, the remaining questions are fun questions, actually. So, what's something that people will be surprised to learn about you outside work? For me today, it was the dancing part. I heard. So I wanted to see. So outside work, what are those things that people will be surprised to learn about you?
I really don't know, honestly. I'm an open book, so I'm sure people know everything. I don't know. I can't think of it.
Wayo, please complete this sentence. The future belongs to women who
show up.
Word. Clock it, exactly. And if you weren't a banker, what would you be?
A banker. I'll be a housewife. A kept woman. I'll just be at home, then my husband will just doling over me. But no, I love my work. I love banking. I've always wanted to be a banker, so I love it. Any questions from the floor that you want me to take?
So,
Let me just.
We'll take questions. I think we should favor those online
Okay.
and take questions from them. Arit, do you have the questions? Because Mike, please.
Thank you so much once again, MD. So we have two questions online. One is from Gloria, and she wrote saying, what limited belief do you wish more women will let go of?
What's limiting?
Limiting belief.
I can't do it. I can't take that role. The role is too big for me. I'm not ready for that role. I need to do X, Y, Z. I've done that before too, several times. An opportunity comes for a role, and then you just think you're not able because you're not ready. I have not done X, Y, Z. I need to do one more thing. If I do, so it just limits us from growing. Just do it afraid. Compete in that role. Apply. Go through the process. Even if you don't get the role, that process changes you, enhances your skills, broadens your knowledge. So I would say show up again. Show up for it. And
do it afraid. Thank
yes,
you
do it
so much.
afraid.
The second one is, what quality do you value most when choosing leaders for your team?
Ethics.
That is from Tosin.
Ethics.
Ethics.
Integrity. Very important. Because I'd rather have someone I can trust than have a skilled person. And that is very important, because if you have people in your team, you can trust them. It's tough to achieve much. They may have all the skills, but they don't trust you. Don't trust them. And I'm not saying trust is not 100. It's not like trusting them to do your bidding or anything. No, just be able to trust that they will do what they say and do it. Yeah, and lead by example.
Thank you. Should we give more? All right, thank you.
Thank you so much, Wayo. On behalf of WeHub, we're so grateful that, we finally got you on this couch. So we thought of giving something that you could also place on your couch, something visible that you would see all the time and to remind you of the beautiful experience that we had today. We are so grateful that you took out the time to spend time with us today. Thank you, Ma. Thank you. Manko, pictures.
I know this little girl, her name is Maxine. Her beauty's like a bunch of roses. If I ever tell you about Maxine, you would say I don't know what I know, but murder she wrote. Real. Murder she wrote. Murder she wrote. Murder she wrote.
I know with him, a pretty face and bad character. Them the kind of living can hold chaka. Follow me. A pretty face and bad character. Them the kind of living can hold chaka. Say, girl, you pretty, you face it pretty, but your character dirty. Girl, you just a act too flirty. You run to Tom Dick and also hurry. And when you find your mistake, you talk about you sorry. Come on.
She know about the look like an every morning man. Make love with the coolie Chinese, white man and Indian. The wickedest kind of girl, them is a flyers go up and down. Do you heard about this girl? Her name is Maxine. Her beauty's like a bunch of roses. And if I ever tell you about Maxine, you would say I don't know what I know, but murder she wrote.
Murder Richard, man.
Murder she wrote. Murder she wrote. Na na na, murder she wrote.
Watch and now stand still. You not pay me like bill. If you test a ragamuffin, tell your wine get killed. Girl keep wait. Cause you a crebe. And the lyrics when me talk, it me DJ girl come out. Because you nah shock out. And when you hear the ragamuffin, you have to jump and shout. Don't touch me gate. You not pay me what I'm ready. Cause great is great. Make your anger. Come here.
Move to the left in the name of Jesus.
Move to the left in the name of Jesus.
Move to the right in the name of the Lord.
Move to the right in the name
I
of
could have seen you just say that.
Do the rubber dub, short dress and long curly hair. Don't deny 'cause I saw you there. Me did dead when you give her the line. Me did dead when you look so sincere. Me did dead when you hold her close and tell her everything that she want